Hey, what's up? This is Appletini here. The acronym Presto is almost certainly, without a doubt, the most high-profile and iconic shoe in the world of techwear. But what's interesting about the acronym Presto is that while many of the colours, or at least half of them, I'd say, very much fit the techwear palette, each release has had one or two models which really break the mold and really stand out and have really bold, vibrant colours. You've got the lavas in the 2016 release, and in the 2018 there's the racer pink version, and also the dynamic yellows as well are pretty bright. If you want some, particularly the 2016 version, you might find that A, they're not particularly available, they can be quite hard to find, and B, the prices of them, particularly with the old ones, have only gone up. So if you're a little bit more budget conscious, or you maybe just want to be a bit smarter and you don't want to blow all your pocket money on one pair of shoes, then it might be good to check out some alternatives. So with that in mind, I've gone through the whole interwebs, had a bit of a look, a bit of a think of some things that might be appropriate. Like in the budget techwear video, I've done my rounding up using ShopTagger. If you didn't catch that video or you have amnesia, it works by installing this little button into the top right corner of your browser. If you happen to be browsing on your favorite retailer, you see something you like the look of, you can click that button and then you can save it to one of your lists. Choose your favorite color, choose the right size, and then you can start tracking down some bargains, because if anything you've saved comes back in stock, or it goes down in price, then you can be alerted. You can do that either through email notifications, through app notifications. They haven't got carrier pigeons working yet, but who knows, maybe 2020. You can put stuff in different lists, keep things organized, so I've made a specific one for this video, so I'll put a link to that if you want to check out everything that I talk about here, and if you want to download ShopTagger, give it a little try, then there's a link to that down in the description. Also, thanks to ShopTagger for sponsoring this video, if that wasn't clear. Anyway, let's take a look at some of these different options. I wanted to really focus on three different things. A, futuristic aesthetic, B, high levels of comfort or some kind of performance, comforty based technology, and C, the option for bright and jazzy colours in the same way as the Lava Prestos. All the things in this video do all those three things, but to different extents, so no matter what your preference is, whether you're a fan of the super jazzy bright sneakers or you just want something that's going to be really comfortable, hopefully you'll find something to your taste here. The first one I want to mention is the Reebok Instapump and the Reebok Instapump Fury. These came out 25 years ago, so Reebok are doing a bit of a 25th birthday revival type thing. They've re-released some of the OG models. That's given them a bit of publicity, as did the Vetmonts collab last year, I think. But nonetheless, I feel like these are currently a bit of an underutilized shoe. Even though they were so iconic on their release 25 years ago, they do have that really cool technology of being able to fasten these by pumping them up. They do look futuristic as well, I think, and one of the retro colorways that they re-released is so bright, it's crazy. Even more so than the Lava Prestos, I think. They've got this all over yellow and red look. I think it's super cool, but it certainly is out there. And released at the same time, there's a slightly more toned down blue one, so if you're not feeling the bright, then maybe that's better for you. The next sneaker here is the Nike VaporMax Plus, specifically the ones with a green sole. I'm very much a VaporMax fan. I've got a couple of pairs already. I think they look pretty cool and futuristic, and they're quite comfortable as well. This version has the upper of the Nike Air Max Plus, I think they're called. Yeah, Air Max Plus, which gives them a bit of a chunkier and a more retro look, but still with a futuristic sole. And I think combining that all black upper with that little shock of green on the bottom, I think that's a super cool combination. It's going to make these really wearable, but also just have that little bit of aesthetic interest, something that's a bit different. The translucency on the sole I think is a real winner, and I'm kind of a sucker for things that have green accents on, so it definitely appealed to me for that reason. I think there might be an orange version as well, if you're not really feeling the green, but yeah, I kind of like the toxic kind of vibe. Anyway, this feels like the solid, risk-free option on this list. I feel like you can't go too far wrong with something like this. Apart from the price, of course, because VaporMax is never the cheapest shoe around, but I think they're going to be pretty nice. Aside from the Presto Mid and the Presto Utility, there's a new addition to the Presto family that might be of interest, which is the Presto Fly World. They've got one jazzy colorway in the form of the Unholy Cumulus, but there's quite a lot of low-key ones as well. This doesn't really fit into the same techwear aesthetic as a lot of the other things on this list. It is undoubtedly a much more normal sneaker, but this is going to appeal, I think, to people that are not all about the ninja life and just want something that Kinda looks like a Presto. Oh, also though, the Presto Foot 10, a shoe that Tinker Hatfield originally designed and then shelved, and later in an interview said that he hopes that they never ever resurface. Well, Comme des Garçons dragged them up, so now you can buy a pair. So if anyone's brave enough to actually wear these, then give them a go. The Nike Air Huarache gets a pretty bad rap in the UK still because a few years back they were pretty much worn by every second bloke in Nando's, but there are a few variants which bring some technical credentials to the table, or at least look a little bit more futuristic. One of those is the Huarache Gripp. These are kind of semi-available, I've still seen them around 1 or 2 different retailers, but they are far more futuristic and more boot-like than your average Huarache. It's a silhouette that I think is not dissimilar to the Acronym Presto, and you combine that with the straps that they use for the lacing, and you'll find a pretty solid technical looking shoe. And again, this comes in 1 or 2 jazzy colours. There's a bright red and black version, or I think it might be orange actually, but there's also the stealthy all black variants. And if you have a look on StockX or some other places like that, there were some more limited ones that had this weird like rain guard thing over the top of the laces. So if you're feeling a bit braver, the white version is certainly some Lunacore vibes there, but they got a kind of olivey version as well, I think. So those are a bit weird, but will certainly get you noticed. There's one other variant, which is the Nike Huarache City. I think these are a women's exclusive model because I've not really seen any big sizes come up, but there's 1 or 2 cool colorways here. Combine that with the straps and you've got something that is a little bit Acronym Presto-esque. There's a rainbow colorway, I can't remember what they call it exactly, it's like aqua pink or something like that. Yeah, aqua pink. It's super vibrant, it's got that rainbow kind of look, and combined with the black straps over the top to break it up, I think makes for a really nice little combination. Salomon is not really a brand that I've talked about too much on this channel, but it's definitely one that I'm going to be paying more attention to in the future. For the purposes of this video, the Salomon S-Lab XA Alpine. It's an unconventional choice and it's more on the performance aspect than a lot of the other shoes here, but it still manages to look very futuristic and very boot-like, and I'd say in fact more futuristic than the Acronym Presto. This is going to appeal more to the heavy wearers that need some genuine functionality and something that's going to last, and not just a lifestyle sneaker as the Acronym Presto is. And while these are almost a blacked out colorway, they've got that little blue bit on the back which makes things a little bit more interesting and helps them be distinctive, so you're definitely going to stand out wearing these. These certainly aren't the cheapest, in fact I think they're the most expensive shoe on this list, but they are cheaper than the Salomon BBS Collab shoes, which are super cool and definitely worth a look because they will fit great with Techwear stuff, but you got to be balling hard to buy them because the prices can be pretty high. It's a great collab to be aware of though, and if Salomon and the BBS collab are something you want to see more of on the channel, then definitely let me know and I'll think about finding something cool to pick up. I'm not the world's biggest fan of the new Air Max 720, but they undeniably have a futuristic edge and they certainly are designed for comfort. There's been 1 or 2 cool colorways as well which use interesting colors in different ways, alongside a lot of suspect ones to be honest. These are similar to the Presto world I think in that they're a lot more casual and a lot more wearable than some of the more futuristic and utility focused shoes on this list. They're designed for more mainstream appeal, which means that they do come in at a more affordable price than things like the VaporMax, to their credit. One of the best colorways for this I think is part of the Throwback Future pack. They've got this cool iridescent finish to them, and if you're not feeling the VaporMax 720 then don't forget that a whole bunch of different models came out in this Throwback Future pack, and there's some decent ones checking out. That doesn't make sense. Decent ones worth checking out. For me, the Air Max 95s look really cool. I think the waves go really nicely with that blue and purple, and they also have a VaporMax Run utility as well, with both the futuristic credentials of the VaporMax and that performance aspect too. I thought these were cool in an all black version, but adding a bit of colour into the mix is no bad thing. It makes things just a little bit more exciting, helps get across that futuristic aspect as well. So I would check out that whole pack and see if there's a particular model that takes your fancy. I do normally stick an Adidas Terrex model in these kinds of performance footwear based videos, so this one is for the Adidas boys. Specifically, the Terrex Free Hiker came out pretty recently. For me, these have a very retro appeal. They kind of remind me of some of those ACG sneakers that have been coming out recently. They've got a little bit of a practical shape, but with a sneaker twist on it. And by using Boost, by using Prime Knit technology, you're going to get much better levels of comfort than your average walking boot. But they still have that mid-top shape and a heavy-duty aesthetic. I wouldn't exactly call these a Presto alternative aesthetically, because they do obviously look very different, and the jazzy colorway version of these is much more retro than it is futuristic. But in terms of use case and appropriateness to wear in Techwear outfits, these are going to be up there with the best of them. Hopefully one of these options is up your street, and if I find any more that I think might be cool, I'll stick them in that shop tagger list so you can check them out. But there's lots of different looks here already and lots of different levels of performance and comfort as well. So let me know down there in the comments which one is your favorite, which one you would pick up if you could. I think for me, I'm going towards the VaporMax Plus with the green sole, just because of A, how wearable they're going to be, and B, because I really like green and I think that translucent kind of toxic acidy kind of look is super cool. But I'm also finding myself drawn to the Instapump Fury as well, just because the silhouette and the look of them is so distinctive yet so unique at the same time, and some of those colorways just really turn it up to 11. I've not really owned any Reeboks either, and I just like the idea of having a super attention grabbing shoe, and what better than an Instapump Fury? If you have any other suggestions though, or anything that you've picked up as an alternative to the Presto that you've ended up getting on really well with, then definitely let me know down there in the comments. I'm going to be checking through them. Maybe I'll even pick up one of your suggestions. If you enjoyed the video, do please give it a like, and thank you so much for watching, and as always, we will be back in exactly 1 week's time with another video.